friends. Hi, Annie. How are you? So, we just had our new release, and part of the new release was this super cool Courageous Cyclamen Flower. And we are going to color up this flower and cut it out today. And I mean, we may even do 2 of them, right? Because why not? So, they tend to grow in like, you know, clumps. So, there's that. Who else is here? Hey, Tegan. How are you? All right, so let's get ready. Okay, I had to get my chair ready because my chair was like all the way down to the floor and I just can't work that way. So, there we go. Okay. So, we're gonna pull out our ink pad. I use Memento Tuxedo Black. You can use any color that you want. We are going to Copic color this flower, so you want to use something that's Copic friendly. Trying to get my video up and running so that I can see your guys' comments on my screen. Okay. So, first things first. I know I haven't seen you for a long time, Annie. Where have you been? We've been in separate sections of the crafty world, huh? All right, so I'm gonna start. I package all of my stamps in the Avery L envelopes, and I put the stamp behind that, and then on the back, I put the business card magnets and my dies, and that way all the dies don't sit like at the bottom of this, and it makes the bottom super thick, so I can store more of them in the same spot. So, we're gonna grab our stamps. Hiding in your craft room, good for you. Hide away, girl, hide away. All right, so I'm gonna lay this out. So that I can fit the most possible on here, because I want to cut more of those. So I want to be able to fit more of those on there. Okay. Okay, so since these are new stamps, what I usually do is I just kind of rough them up a little bit using my fingers. Get some DNA on there. If you hear a fan in the background, it's my heater because it's chilly. It's a balmy 12 degrees here in Idaho today. And these are new stamps, so I'm probably going to have to stamp them twice until I get them all broken and good to go. That's okay. We're always here. What DTs are you on now, Annie? Hey, did pretty good. I like super vibrant black lines though, so that's why I generally always stamp twice. Let's see how we did. Look at that. Super duper. Then I take my stamp chamois, and you know you always have your bottle of water. My distress bottle of water. And I'm going to wipe these off. I'm too lazy to go to the sink to wet my chamois. Also, I like to have one side wet and one side dry. so that I can dry them off. Put it back in my chamois case. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to stamp them again. I'm going to put these back on the carrier sheet. So I've been battling this virus. Wow, look at you. That's a lot. That is a lot. Congratulations. You are a busy little bee. Or a busy little bear. Or a busy bunny. I forgot what I was saying. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Everybody's fine. So what colors would y'all like these cyclamen flowers to be? Hey, Michelle. Happy birthday 2 days ago. You have the same birthday as my hubby. And it looks like you partied it up right, girl. Many, many birthday celebrations. So good for you. So I need colors for these cyclamen flowers. What colors would you like them? We can do them both the same color. We can do them different colors. Whatever y'all feel like. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in here so I don't lose it. Michelle wants orange and purple, or bright red and dark yellow. Hi, Xana. Is that how you say it? Good evening. You must not be in the United States because it's only noon here. Okay, so we're going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see me coloring. I'm going to start with the greens. Bright red and dark yellow, orange and purple. Let's do orange and purple. How do you feel about orange and purple? I'm feeling the orange and purple thing today. I like it. So I'm going to start with the greens for the stems. And I'm just going to use a very simple green for this. Haha, simple green. I'm trying to find my... So I really like this YG 67, 63, and 61. They are a nice green without being like too Crayola or too yellow. So it is one of my favorite green. Nope, I'm in the UK and it's 7:10. Well, good. I'm glad that you joined us. And it is, Xana, that is really cool. Archie, stop. That's a very neat name. I like it. Like you need my approval for your name, but whatever, it's fine. I'll allow it. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. So I'm going to color all of the stems and all of the leaves at the same time. And generally speaking, the veins of the leaves are not actually darker, they're lighter. So I'm going to shadow on one side of them and use that as my guide on how to shadow the rest of them. Right? I mean, well, look at how my name is spelled. I absolutely loathed and despised it growing up. And then now that I'm older, I'm glad that I have... My name is fairly common, but the spelling is quite unique. So... So good for your parents for going out there and giving you something unique. I get all quiet when I concentrate, so apologies for that. It's also hard for me to color without like hugging my picture. I'm usually like right on top of my picture, whatever, my project, whatever I'm working on. Okay. You're a commoner, Michelle. Annie. Annie's a fairly common name, although it's not as common now as it used to be. What I like, yours is very clearly Annie because the IE. She was an unusual type of person. But the Anns of the world, ANNE, is it Anne? Is it Annie? Is it, yeah. The ambiguousness of it hurts my brain. So, and then the Jennifers of the world that are all like, no, I'm Jen. No, I'm Jenny. I'm all these different names. Those are really hard for me too, because then I'm trying to remember, and there's multiple in my family, and there's multiple in my friends group. But unless you tell me something that like really sticks onto how you want to be called, it hurts my brain. But just like I tell, my name is Jamie, not Jammy. So don't ever come around me and tell me that you're gonna put on your jammies. They're pajamas or PJs or comfy clothes or bedtime clothes or whatever. But since people have always, I'm like way over here to the side, since people have always mispronounced my name as Jammy, I have come to really hate the word jammies. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna put on your jammies. That's dumb. So, yeah. So he called me Annie and it stuck. Well, there you go. If that's the case, then I would be called James. Because I am the baby of 4 girls. And so when I was born, conceived or whatever, my dad was very hopeful that he would have a boy. And so consequently, I grew up very tomboyish, which I'm sure made him happy. Not because he forced it on me at all, but I just was very tomboyish. And he always called me James. So I go by James a lot. Like my immediate family calls me James a lot because of that. All right. So, Michelle, because you said purple, I happen to have this really cool purple that I have been experimenting with. So you might want to write this down because it's kind of a new color blend for me. Not something I normally use. And I find it very neat. So pull out your notebook, baby. All right. So our greens are done. Write this down. I think you're gonna like it. It is, ready? Whoa, BV08, V17, FV2, BV04, and BV02. What? Hey, Rosemary, how are you? I love your musical Tourette's. Musical Tourette's is like, makes me happy, so we're good. All right, so we're starting with purple. And then we'll do an orange one. We'll come up with some cool orangey, yellowy something or other. Ooh, my husband's in there making lunch, and I am starving. I didn't think I was so hungry until I sat down to color, and then I was like, dang, I'm hungry. So if I was coloring this just to be a two-dimensional flat flower as is stamped here, I would color this part yellow because it's like the stamen. But since I'm not doing that, I'm going to go ahead and color it in this dark purple because you're not really going to see it once we put this flower together. I will also tell you, if you're going to do this along with me, you may want to plug in your hot glue gun because that's going to be a thing. I like using hot glue to put together my flowers because you can use the glue to add dimension. So I'm going to use these little brush strokes here to kind of shade in this flower. And I'm just coloring these two petals because they're going to go with this one, and then these two petals are going to go with this one. Okay. And then I'm going to shade where this leaf or petal folds in on itself. Just add a little shadow there. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I almost started coloring this one. I had to stop and think about it for a second. Now, when I shape this, I'm gonna have these sides like roll under. So I'm gonna shape it that way as well. Same with this. This is gonna roll this way, and this is gonna roll that way. So I'm gonna shade it so that we can give our 3D-ness a little bit of extra oomph. Towards me a little. Was that good? Or do you need more? I love, love, love this fluorescent marker. It's so cool. People don't use their fluorescents often enough, I don't think, that the Copic fluorescents get enough love. So I try to use them when I can. to show you how cool they can be. Hi, Timothy Thomas. How the heck are you? We are coloring and shaping a 3D flower today. So it's a good day for you to tune in. Tune in. And we're using fluorescents. I love, love, love the fluorescent Copics. They are awesome sauce. And I just don't think they get enough love. So we're giving it a little love today. All right, we're getting there. Hey, bestie, how are ya? I do sound a little bit better. I'm still fighting this virus. It is kicking my butt. But the boys took me out to coffee this morning. So, since I'm still working on a coffee high, we're gonna go with it. That's why there was like no notice for this live at all whatsoever. I was like, hey, I'm on a coffee high, so we're just gonna film it right this second. We're gonna do it. Ooh, what color nails did you get this time? And what was for lunch? Because I'm starving, so if you tell me what's for lunch, maybe it'll give me an idea. I can hear my husband in there making lunch. You got snow? Do you want some of my snow? You can definitely have my snow. Ooh, tamales. Tamales. Okay, we're almost done with this purple one. Last color. Come at it with reckless abandon. Okay, now we're gonna do orange. I remember when I was young having tamale pie, and I haven't had that in forever and ever and ever and a day. And now you kind of make me want tamale pie. Just saying. All right, so we're gonna build, since I was talking about the fluorescents, we're gonna build a color, color blend, that's my word, words are hard, around this. And you'll notice that sometimes your hex charts will start to fade a little bit. So if I notice that a color has faded, I'll color it back in. Most of the time I'll put a date on my hex chart so I know when I colored it, and I color a fresh one every year to 18 months. Because it's just the nature of the beast. The ink will kind of dissipate and, hey pal, and get more soft, sun bleach itself, whatever you want to call it, but it does happen. So I'm going to do YR18 and then YR07. Yeah, they will fade eventually, Belinda. So I always will take these and I color, just to show you, I color a full-size one and I color a mini every year to 18 months. A lot of the times I will laminate them as well, but you know, it is what it is. So I've colored this one. So see, this one says November of 22, and so that's why this one is so much more vibrant than this one, because this one is like over a year old. so you can see the difference in the vibrancy. I mean, especially look at the fluorescence. So I'll use this chart so you can see it. So I have YR18, YR07, and then I have my fluorescent. So with this fluorescent, I'm going to go into like a softer peachy color because I want to tone it down just a little bit. So I think I'm going to do YR65 because I love peachy oranges. And then I'm going to come into like YR01. Just seems like a good highlight. I might have to do 02, but we'll see. So there you go. I have so many hex charts hanging out in my house. Good Lord. Okay. Color upside down most of the time, especially when I'm pencil coloring. I should pencil color soon. I haven't pencil colored for a long time. I bet y'all would like a pencil video, huh? So like I said, you're really not going to see the center of this, so not too big of a deal to color it in. And I gotta not forget this little petal over here. Anybody doing anything fun for Christmas? I can't believe that we only have like a week left. Yes, little Archie feets. I'm surprised he's in here because Barry's eating lunch, so it's kind of shocking to me that he came to sit in his window. Barry must be eating something that the Archie cannot have. Because he is a ruthless and relentless beggar. And when Barry's not home, Archie doesn't beg. Because he knows that Mom doesn't appreciate the begging. But when Dad is home, he is a ruthless and relentless beggar. Master. Begging level master. Family coming over and we're having family game night. Ooh, that sounds fun. You're having tamales for Christmas too? Christmas tamales are a thing. They used to be a thing when we were in Northern California. What was I gonna say? I'm hosting Christmas Eve at my house, but we're gonna do Christmas Eve brunch, and we're gonna do a family white elephant gift exchange. Because those of you who know me know that my anxiety disorder is so much worse at night. So if I want to enjoy myself, I have to do that earlier in the day as opposed to in the evening. So we're gonna have Christmas brunch because of that. And then we will have Christmas Day over at my parents' house. And that's where we get together and do a big family gift exchange, open up Santa gifts, all that kind of stuff. We do Christmas dinner at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And that way everybody can get home at a decent hour and play with all their new Christmas goodies and enjoy dessert. All right. Good call, Michelle, on the purple and orange. I like it. Look at how pretty that is. And you don't really notice that there's like a highlighter color in there, that it's like a super bright fluorescent color in there. So don't be afraid of using your fluorescents. All right. So I'm going to pull out my little, let's zoom out some, my little handy dandy cutter. I usually stamp these way closer on the paper as well, but because we're doing a live here. Now, I have snips that I use to cut my dies. And if you don't hold on to them, they go flying. So if you're wondering, I got these particular snips from Concord and Ninth. Well, hi, Meg. Hey, thanks, Tim. I just ran across that picture of you and I, Tim, from the, or Timothy. I don't know if you don't like me calling you Tim. But Tim was my brother's name, so, and my brother passed away, so it makes my heart feel good to say Tim. Anyways, I just ran across that picture of you and I from the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. I should post it. It was a good picture. It was a good picture of both of us. We were both actually looking at the, yeah, right? Musical Tourette's. Again, Michelle, good job. We're both looking at the camera. We're both smiling. Might be minor. Mom just got x-ray back. She fractured. Oh my goodness. I just saw the second part of that. My poor auntie. That's terrible. So what are they going to do for her? Nothing? It's a good picture. I think it's fun because we had just met each other and we had just talked about like all the cool crafty stuff together, and so we were like super genuinely happy when the picture was taken, and you can tell that there's like genuine happiness there. And I think that that's what makes me like the picture so much, is that it's a very genuine, like, not, oh, pose for the camera, but like a hooray, we just talked crafty stuff and learned new things and met a new friend, and I don't know, it just makes me happy. I'm just weird. It's fine, whatever. At least you know me in person and me on video is the exact same. What you see is what you get, people. I do not sugarcoat. I bet you guys can't wait to see these get put together. They go together so quickly and easily. It just is really fun. And I know that this stamp set looks a little bit intimidating because of these flowers are a little bit strange and not super common. But that's kind of the cool thing about them is they aren't common. I have never seen another stamp company come out with a cyclamen flower. And Sandy and I spend a lot of time planning our releases and stuff to create things that are unique for you guys. Stamp sets that aren't out there. We don't follow the trends. Oh, thanks, Meg. Right, Michelle? Michelle loves my weird. But anyways, so we try really hard to make things for you guys that are unique and different and that you can't find anywhere else, and that you can use in conjunction with other things, because we know, like, not even in our own craft rooms, and Sandy and I own Sweet Sentiment, and not even in our craft rooms do we just have our own stuff. We have stuff from other companies. We support other small businesses as well. I have a bunch of Scrappy Boy stuff. I have a bunch of CC Designs. I have a bunch of Rabbit Hole Designs and the Greeting Farm. And, you know, so for us, we want to create things. I'm so sorry, pal. Let me know if I can do anything. So for us, we're realistic and we think, you know, what would we want? And what sort of thing would make us happy to have in our craft room? And what could we use in conjunction with it to make it more awesome? So that's what we do. And that's why our stamp sets don't go quote unquote on trend, because there's only so many gnomes you can have, right? I get it. People like gnomes, but there's only so many gnomes you can have, and so many llamas, and so many whatevers. I can't think right now. I'm too excited about this flower. Okay, so you see, I cut this all out on a mini die cutting machine. Isn't that fun? And I cut out 2 flowers, so now I'm gonna stick this back in here. Oops. To be put away. I'm gonna throw my scraps in the trash. Okay. Now, the only thing that I'm going to tell you to do is cut down into these with your scissors so that you can put them on the stems. Okay? So, the best thing to shape these with is a glue stick. So, what I'm going to do, and the die cuts these all the way down, so that's super helpful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the way that the artist drawn lines are, and I'm just going to shape. Look, Sandy, you're actually here for a flower shaping. How cool is that? Sandy's always like, how do I put these flowers together? So this one is turned this way, so I'm going to turn it this way. And then I'm going to come down here to the bottom of this petal and shape it this way. Okay. So let's do that again with this one. Of course, this is opposite. So I'm going to turn this way, and I'm going to turn this way. Then I'm going to put this behind here. Turn this way. Yep. It's just a regular glue stick. One of the best flower shaping tools out there. Okay, so I have those shaped. Now I'm going to do the same thing for these. this one, I'm just gonna put the glue stick right down the middle of it, and I'm just gonna shape it. And then I'm just gonna lessen that a little bit. So I'm gonna do that for both of the small ones. And these flowers do grow fairly uniform, so that's why I'm not super duper concerned about that. Okay, so see how this has a lip on it, like the artist drawn line? So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna fold it this way. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna fold it this way. So you'll see I have kind of an S shape there. Do that with this one too. Take this one, roll it this way, and take this one and roll it this way. Right? Hey, I like to use what's around me in my craft room. Okay, so now we have those. Now with this, I'm gonna roll this way. And then I'm gonna put this on the back. Same thing with this. Roll the edges up. Whoa! Throw it at myself. And then put this at the back. Okay. Now, I'm going to build these in opposite directions so that you can see that you can put these leaves in any ways. Dale's always in my craft room, so yeah, I use them too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting a spot of glue on the back, and I'm going to let this dry. The reason is because I want to create dimension. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to build these opposite. This one I'm going to put the bigger petal in the back, and this one I'm going to put the smaller petal in the back, so you can see what they look like both ways. Right, Michelle? That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't going to say it out loud. So a dollop of glue right there. And then I'm going to take this to the back of this flower. And I'm going to try not to glue my finger, and I'm just going to pinch it. Just like that. Okay. So as that dries, I'm going to do the same thing. Archie to the front. And then I'm going to let that sit. Now this one I'm going to put the small petal on the back. So I'm going to put a dollop of glue there. Just like that. Right, Holly? Okay. And by pinching these at the bottom, it makes this come out. So by pinching it at the bottom, it makes this come out, and that's what creates that 3D effect. And so look at how easy this flower is to put together. How neat is that? Right? Whoa. Mind-blowing. Isn't this cool, Meg? It's just such a simple flower to put together. Now see, you can put either petal in the front or in the back, depending on how you want it to look. Now, the extra woe. You guys ready for extra woe? Extra woe. We are going to grab our favorite glitter. And I have a cool for the purple one, and I have a warm for the orange one. And I have my candy cup. And then I'm going to get my little sponge and my Barely Art glue. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to put a bunch of glue on it. And then we're going to totally frost this flower. Look at how pretty that is. Okay, bye bestie. Okay. The Crazy Creations glitter is the absolute best glitter to do this with because it's so super fine. And the reason I use two different ones is this one has a snowflake right here, so it's the cool color. And then this one has a sunshine right here, so it's the warm color. Are you leaving us too, Meg? Or were you saying bye to Sandy? Tim, are you a glitter guy? Do you like to do glitter on all of your projects? It's funny because some guys are like super pro glitter and some guys are like, I don't come within a 10-foot pole. I won't touch that. Forget that shiz. So, Sean likes to tell me he's not a glitter guy. He lies. Okay? So pretty. Then, while I still have a little bit of glue on my sponge, I like to do the edges of my leaves. And honestly, my leaves, I just use whatever I have open. It doesn't matter if it's cool or warm. Ooh, and then I throw it. Glitter cardstock. I used to loathe and despise glitter until I started using this Crazy Creations glitter and using this method, because I did always make a mess, and now I'm not a messy crafter. I do not like being messy. But using the candy cup and this Crazy Creations glitter, just make sure that your air conditioner isn't on, because it will blow this glitter around. And then what I do is I take this that has glue on it and I just wipe up the excess glitter that may have come out. And because the Barely Art glue is water-based, I'll show you what I do. So I throw that little sponge away, and then I take my spray bottle and I spray, and I do all this before I move on. And so there is no glitter mess anywhere. And I don't come out of my craft room looking like I was at a stripper party. All the fun things. So see, very contained mess. Very awesome. Very, very awesome. Oh, good, Meg. I'm glad you were just saying bye to Sandy and not leaving me. Okay. So then, I'm like, don't leave me. I have a piece of our Sweet Sentiment craft cardstock. And somewhere in my life, oh, here it is. I'm like, somewhere in my life, I have a trimmer. So I'm going to trim this. So I like to matte all of my cards. So I'll have a color of matte, and then I will have this. So I'm going to trim this 1/4 of an inch down. And then I think I'm going to do a dark green. So let me grab a piece of dark green cardstock. Maybe. Or I'll use black like I normally do. Okay, I'm going to let you guys pick. I usually always, yes, Michelle, they do. We just don't have a whole bunch of colors in stock right now. So I have this that I used alcohol inks on to make. This is just Yupo paper with different colors of alcohol inks. Or I have black, and I have my signature cardboard. Well, not my signature cardboard, but cardboard. So do you guys want me to do black or green? Like that or like that? You get to choose. And while you do that, I'm going to prepare a piece of cardboard. Do the black, do the green. We need a tiebreaker. Michelle says green, Meg says black. Mary says green. So there we go. Guess we're going with green. So I just peel off one layer of the cardboard to expose the corrugations. And if it doesn't peel super well, just grab your tweezers. Amazon boxes work best, I've noticed, but I don't throw a whole bunch of stuff or a whole bunch of boxes away that have the little flaps, because I cut off the flaps and use them for my cards. Ooh, what if I make both of you happy and use green and black? I just had an idea. I have an idea. A wonderful, awful idea. mean, yeah, but I hide a lot of the paper that I use, so it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a black mat. Oh, look, it's already cut to size too. That's amazing. I pre-cut all of my card bases too. So we're gonna put together a card here right quick. Use your espresso instead of a bone folder, and then you will not have any scars on your cards. Then I'll put my black. Perfect. Awesome. You guys smell what I'm stepping in now? Okay, so then the other thing I like to do is, this always seems unfinished to me. So I'm gonna grab my vintage photo. And we're gonna start assembling. Okay, I'm also going to use, before I put this all together, I'm going to use the sentiment from this set. Now, the sentiments from these sets are usually very pensive. It's part of why Sweet Sentiment is called the Sweet Sentiment, because this is one sweet thing. Can only say one sweet thing, and then after that it turns to snark. So, if you'll notice, most of our flower sets are the sets that have the sweet whatever it is written. And I don't know if you can see this, there we go. I'm just lining this up. And then I want a really, oops, sorry, I kicked the camera. I want a really vibrant print on this. So I am going to use VersaFine. I've had this same VersaFine stamp pad for years. And it has a big old crack in the lid, see that? And it's still never dried out, and the lid's broken, and like just all kinds of stuff. And it still is never dried out. Oh my gosh, look at how perfect that is. First stamp, done. It's a mini hero. Okay. Now we're going to start assembling. So grab my Barely Art glue. I love that this glue gives me a second to like pick this up and manipulate it so that it's all lined up perfectly, because I use 1/8 of an inch margins and it's really easy to get those all messed up. So there's that. Now I'm going to take my Yupo. Now, Yupo paper is notorious for showing these lines through, but when you use the Barely Art glue and the espresso to burnish that glue, then you don't have those lines. See that? Nice and smooth. Super duper cool, my friends. Okay. I'm also going to brush the edges of this just for a little more dimension. Okay. And then I'm going to take this . Now, before you glue this on, make sure your card opens in the proper direction. Okay, I'm good. Set this down, then you can line it up. Burnish that. Okay. It's usually at this point, before I put anything dimensional on here, that I stamp it. So yes, I stamp and sign my card before it's finished. And I always try to sign in a color that matches. Okay, now we're going to glue this on. We're going to glue it on fairly wonky because I don't want it to be like centered or perfect. What's a mini hero? Michelle, what item are you talking about that's a mini hero? Oh, a mini Misty? Maybe? Maybe I want to put these like back to back. I think I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to take hot glue. Did my glue gun turn off? I think my glue gun turned off. Oh, yep, it did. Okay, so before we do the hot glue then, I'm gonna grab some little gems here. And I think I'm gonna use the clear ones. So if this and this are like this, I'm gonna put a couple right here. And so obviously they're gonna look white right now because I'm setting them on top of white glue, but the Barely Art glue dries clear. So they will be clear. Yeah, the glue stick wasn't all the way in, so it didn't do what it was supposed to do, which is fine. We'll just do this part first. all the gems always fall the wrong way because they're heavier on one side. That's just how that works, physics and all. Okay, so that makes an even number, and we all know that Jamie doesn't do even numbers. So I am gonna put 3 more on, but I think I'm gonna put them on the cardboard. So I'm gonna wait until I get the flowers glued down. Thanks, Timothy. I appreciate it. Look at me making a mess out of myself on the live because my glue. It's also because I think I have a short in my plug, and so it doesn't stay on unless it's like completely seated on the base. So I mean, there's that. But at least you know that I'm a real person and I make, you know, actual mistakes, that a live video is a live video, so there you go. Oh, come on. I know you can do it, little Mr. Glue Gun. I suppose I could use my Barely Art glue, but I'm not a bot. That is correct. You are absolutely correct. I am not a bot. That is for sure. Usually this glue gun heats up super duper fast too. So once I realized it wasn't on and turned it back on, we should be good to go. But we'll see. We'll see. Yep, look, there we go. Look at all that delicious hot glue. Or at least warm glue, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put this down here like this. The reason I want to use hot glue on this card mainly is because the corrugation in this cardboard, the Barely Art glue, I'd have to put so much of it there, I don't know how well it would do. So that's why. Okay. Yeah, right? Sweet Springs would totally work. And then you'd have wobbly flowers, and that would be epic. Okay, so I'm going to put this larger one down here. Figure out which way to tilt these, just like that. Okay, but I'm going to, when I do that, I'm going to put glue here and glue here, because I want to take this little leaf and remember how I cut this? I want to sandwich it in there like that. And that gives it even more like texture and building. Oh, you have the grandbaby there? Then you are all forgiven. So let's see if I can do this without burning myself. Hey, look at that. I didn't even burn the heck out of myself. Go figure. Good job, me. Okay, so now I can turn my glue gun off. And I'm gonna grab so these always need to be in odds. So 3, 5, 9. You could do 7, but I like to do 3 groups of 3 because that makes 9. It makes them very odd and spread out and all that good stuff. So that's how I like to do it. So anyways, there you go, guys. There's our card. Well, hello, Joseph. How are you, my friend? I got all the crafty dudes here today. That makes me happy. So there you go. We now have the cool Courageous Cyclamen, and it is all done up for you guys. I love the dimension behind these flowers. It's just so cool. They mail very easily. I love the sentiment. Courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid. Courage means you don't let fear stop you. I think that that is such a poignant and important sentiment. I just love it. So thank you guys for joining me. I think this was an awesome thing. This stamp set just was part of our new release this weekend. So if you haven't seen our new release, hop on over to the site, www.sweetsentiment.us, and check out our new release. It was all about prehistorics, so cavemen and cave women, and mammoths, and all kinds of fun stuff. So there you go. I hope you enjoy, and if I don't talk to you before, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, and stick with us for the new year because there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff happening, and I will see you guys all soon. Toodles!